Well, let's talk about Raymond Realty. What's been happening there and what's the growth outlook? Let's discuss more with Mr. Harmohan Sahni, who is the CEO of the company. Hi, good morning, Mr. Sahni. Good to have you on ET Now. Thank you so much for your time. The company did announce a new project in Mumbai. So firstly, congratulations for that. But what we understand, Mr. Sahni, that with this particular project in place, your total GDV now stands at 40,000 crore rupees across projects now. So firstly, help us understand that what is the timeline for completion looking like and what is the GDV outlook for FY26?
Hi, thank you for having me over. It's always a pleasure to be on the show. As far as the GDV of 40,000 crores is concerned, it is distributed between Thana and non-Thana. Thana, as you know, is our legacy land that we've kind of started the business with about 5 years ago. And that's about 25,000 crores. And now we have added outside of Thana in various micro markets within MMR, all strong, deep markets, which are essentially very close to employment hubs, about 15,000 crores. So as far as the time horizon for realizing this entire GDV is concerned, it is not going to be more than 7 to 8 years for the entire thing to be realized in a phase-wise manner. Naturally, as the projects get launched, this number will keep moving up. So it will be a curve, upward moving curve, and the higher numbers will come beyond 2 years. But yeah, we are seeing a significant growth even from FY24 to FY25, the year that we closed. So I won't be able to disclose numbers, but the general guidance that we had given was that we will definitely do more than 20% growth on top line and bottom line. I think we are completely on nose on that one, and we will definitely do better than that for the year that has been completed. So
I have one very basic question. In this city of Mumbai, the island city of Mumbai, I look here right, I look left, I look down, I look up, all I can see is construction. इतना demand कहाँ से आएगा?
I mean, same way, if you were to, I mean, in tongue in cheek, if you were to look up, down, left and right, you'll see people also. So, and lots of people. It's a very, very dense city, and it has some very strong growth drivers and industries which propel it. You know, financial markets is one, and you are, and in some way we are also parts of it. Entertainment industry is there, diamond trade is there, and so on and so forth. So a lot of value added, very high value activities get conducted out of a city like Bombay. And because of its density, if you see 65% of Bombay still lives in slums. So, and everybody's upgrading. So as they are upgrading, the other people are upgrading further. And the migration continues to be there in Bombay because urbanization is a clear trend which is playing out in India. And it's not a new trend. We have, heard about it for years now, almost decades now. Last 2 decades I've been hearing, and it has actually played out. So demand is clearly coming from upgradation, further urbanization, migratory population which is there. So yeah, these are some of the growth factors why you're seeing so much of offtake. And also the market saw almost a 7-8 year hiatus where there was a time correction which happened, and then the cycle turned about 2.5-3 years ago. So there is a lot of pent-up demand also, partly because the market was on a down cycle, also because of COVID. Even the COVID, like this is something which I have shared in the past also. The moment people are faced with mortality, their own mortality, then they realize what are the things that they need to do in their life, and a lot of big ticket purchases happen. It is followed actually by any big event which happens, whether it's a world war or anything. We've seen these trends play out. Large ticket purchases happen, baby booms happen because people want to live out life. So it's a combination of all these factors, I would say.
I also wanted to understand, what's going to be the impact now in Maharashtra increasing the ready reckoner rates? Do you think it's going to impact demand at all?
Well, I don't think it's going to impact demand in any significant way. Maybe bottom of the pyramid, some of the stamp duty costs and all will go up for the consumer. They may have to, readjust their budgets or EMIs if they were planning to buy something. But then that's reality of life. Inflation is part and parcel, and even income levels keep on growing. And on an average, the increase has been only 3.5%, which I think is quite in line with what has happened on the final product prices also over the last 2 years. Prices have gone up. So the government also adjusts according to that. And as far as developers and up the value chain, when you look at premium market or luxury market, I don't think there's going to be any impact. The real impact will be on developers. To some extent, their cost will go up. So if 10-15% of their cost is the approval cost, then a part of that is linked with the ready reckoner rates. So maybe 1% cost will go up on the approval cost. So I don't think that will also be a very significant dent on the margins, and the price increases will more than make up for that.
So I just want to clear the air. The new JD joint development at Wadala, which you've announced, the total project could have a potential top line of 5,000 crore.
That's right.
Okay, 5,000 crore to be spread out in how many years?
So this is going to be a 6 to 7 year project.
And in joint development, normally either the land is provided by the original owner, or there is a JV in which the revenue sharing happens. So out of the 5,000 crore, what is the value of the land? What would be split between you and the original real estate owner?
So the way the deal is structured is that certain costs are on the landowner and he gets a certain percentage of the revenue. So we will be booking about 3,000 crores out of this revenue approximately, and 2,000 crores and some of the costs will be borne by the landowner.
Now, consciously, we always move towards what could be called a joint development. So, is a conscious strategy what Raymond Realty would do, that we will only look at JDs and JVs?
Well, we haven't ruled out purchase of land or any way we can get our raw material, because we treat land purely as raw material, just like all cement, steel, and other things. So, yeah, but we always look at which is the most efficient way to get that raw material. Today, if credit was available at a reasonable price on cement and steel, I would naturally go for that option rather than pay cash down. So similarly for land also, we have a same strategy. We are not ruling out any means of getting that raw material, but our preferred option today is joint developments, because we believe it's value accretive for our shareholders.
Now, we also understand that in Mumbai, right now you have concentration in Thane, that's your own land. Then you've started developing projects in Bandra, that's JVs. Now, what I understand is that you're also bidding for projects in South Bombay, Breach Candy, Malabar Hill, because a lot of redevelopment is coming there. So, have I heard it right? I mean, khuspus sunte rehte hain.
So, that there is a lot of activity on the redevelopment side, which started about, approximately about 2.5, 3 years ago. It just so happened that, it coincided with the upcycle in the markets as well. But clearly it started because there was clarity as far as the regulation which happened. DCR 2034 came in. Then there were other clarifications which came out, which made a lot of projects viable, which were not really viable because of the density issues which were there in all these projects. So there is a lot of activity in the city on that front. While the activity is there, but it takes a long time before the supply hits the market. So the typical cycle of redevelopment, whether it is South Bombay or western suburbs or eastern suburbs, typically it is a time period of 12 to 18 months before you can actually say that the project is now on. Start when the society starts to, tender it out, because even tendering itself is a 3-4 month process. So yeah, so we keep participating in a lot of these opportunities which are come our way, just like all the other developers names who are similar to us also participate. So yes, you heard right. So we are also active in that market.
Okay, so let's wrap it up with one final question. Gudi Padwa just got over. Did you do anything special? I mean, were there any trends which you can share with us about real estate in terms of what bookings were?
So dates like Gudi Padwa and all are considered extremely auspicious by a certain section of the consumer, and same is true for our clients also. And since we are principally in MMR, so it's a big trend in that sense. So what really happens is that people who have made the decision also, they want to actually consummate the transaction on an auspicious day. I mean, India that way is quite predictable when it comes to this kind of behavior. So we also saw a similar trend. So there was a significant bump up for that one day that we saw, which was quite different from our normal weekends or days that we had. So yeah, even registration offices were chock-a-block, people wanting to complete the transaction within the day so that they could propitiate their respective gods.
Mr. Sahni, with this, we let you go on that note. Thank you so much for taking the time out and speaking with us.
Thank you so much.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.